Looks exactly how I pictured it in my mind. Do you have any idea how satisfying that is as an artist? Because oftentimes when you're an artist, you have an image of what you want in your mind. You create this idea in your mind. And then when it's time to put the pen to paper, when it's time to get to the canvas, somehow the image gets lost, it gets skewed, it gets changed. And it's very frustrating. That's something that I've always gone through when I have a specific idea of how I want something to look. And then what I end up executing doesn't match. That's something that literally used to make me cry as a kid. Like, let's say I wanted to draw a unicorn, right? And I wanted it to look like a certain way. And then I would see the unicorn that I actually drew, and I get so, so upset. Hey guys, it's Aphrodite here, back with another video. And in today's video, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about this makeup look that you see here on my face. So this look was inspired by the Ladybug. I don't actually know any of the Ladybug's names. I just looked up a couple of pictures of Ladybugs and I was really inspired, and this is what I came up with. So literally 30 minutes before I did this makeup on live, I came up with the concept. I don't know why. Like, I had gone on a tangent in my mind. You ever think about one thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing? So I was thinking about how I'm so terrified of bugs, bugs. And I was like, Aphrodite, what are you gonna do for tonight's live? And then somehow my mind wrapped around to ladybugs because I had this memory of somebody telling me once that ladybugs are actually poisonous. Meanwhile, I thought they were just the cutest little things. Well, not all ladybugs, but I think there's a certain amount of them that actually are poisonous. Don't quote me on anything because I don't know all the facts. I just remember somebody telling me that. And then I started to think, what if I transformed my face into a ladybug? So I went on Pinterest and I saw different things, but nothing really caught my eye. Like, I just saw elements of things that I liked, if that makes any sense. Like, I just didn't see something that was covering the entire face, which is what I knew I wanted to do. So the more I kept on scrolling on Pinterest, the more I kept forming this idea in my mind. I saw an eye look that looks very similar to what I created. So I'll definitely be, posting that on Instagram so you can see where I got the inspiration for the eye shape. And I also got the lip idea from a different creator, but the whole composition together is my own. I literally took a screenshot of my face, right? I took a screenshot of my face and then I started to draw. I knew I wanted to see pink, I wanted to see black, and I wanted to see white. Okay, because I did not see pink ladybug makeups. Everybody was doing black and red, black and red, black and red. I wanted pink to be in there because pink is my favorite color, so it makes me happy. And then next thing I knew, I had created a really interesting, very weird and janky looking sketch. And I screenshotted that and then I used that as the reference image for this look that we have created here. This is literally a case of I imagined it in my mind. I planned it out and then I executed it. And what makes me so happy about this look is it's one of those things where it looks exactly how I imagined it in my mind. There's only maybe one thing that I had in my mind that I decided not to do later on because I just didn't want to mess up the integrity of the makeup, which was to put white dots on the pink part of the eyeshadow. Ooh, excuse me. But aside from that, this looks exactly how I pictured it in my mind. Do you have any idea how satisfying that is as an artist? Because oftentimes when you're an artist, you have an image of what you want in your mind. You create this idea in your mind, and then when it's time to put the pen to paper, when it's time to get to the canvas, somehow the image gets lost, it gets skewed, it gets changed, and it's very frustrating. That's something that I've always gone through when I have a specific idea of how I want something to look, and then what I end up executing doesn't match. That's something that literally used to make me cry as a kid. Like, oh, let's say I wanted to draw a unicorn, right? And I wanted it to look like a certain way. And then I would see the unicorn that I actually drew, and I get so upset. As I've gotten older, I think I've gotten better with, managing my emotions and my expectations of myself and like trying not to put too much pressure. And I find that the less pressure I put on myself, the better I actually perform, right? And I think that's the case here because I really wasn't expecting much. But look at how good it came out. I'm so proud of myself. This one, I think this might be my favorite thing. This might be one of my favorites that I've ever created on my face. Like literally, it's just so striking. I'm not saying it's perfect because obviously it does have its imperfections. Like this is not perfectly symmetrical. The eyebrows aren't laid down properly. Like my natural eyebrows are obviously aren't laid down properly. You can see like you can really see the hair strokes, and some of the dots are like slightly skewed. But with all of those little mistakes, I'm okay. I'm okay with them. I'm extremely proud of this look. Like the eyes really pull it together. The gloss on the lips, the eyelashes. First of all, can we have a moment for the eyelashes? For once, they actually stayed in place and cooperated. That is an accomplishment. That is an accomplishment, okay? I don't know if it's obvious, but I really love this look right here. Yeah, so oh, one more thing. This look took me, I want to say about 2 hours because I started around 8:30. I finished I technically finished around 10:30, and then I just took a little bit of extra time to do the finer details, but I'm not counting that in the time that it took me to create this look because I was pretty much done. I was just being very anal about getting the finishing details, if that makes any sense. So it really took me about 2 hours to create this makeup look, which is not bad. Not bad at all, because I low-key thought this was gonna take way longer than it actually did. So I'm happy. Anyways, yeah, this is my Ladybug makeup look. I'm extremely proud of it. I really don't want to take it off, but I have to because it's time for me to go to sleep. Ugh. And I refuse to go to sleep with makeup on, okay? My skin will suffer in the morning. Nah, I'm not about that life. Well, if you managed to reach the end of this video, we are at the end of this video. So thank you if you watched the whole video through and you actually had the attention span to listen to me yap about all of the ways I am fangirling over my own work. So thank you if you did. And as I always say, please don't forget to like, comment, follow, and or subscribe. I will see you in a different video. Mwah! Bye.